So it's been a while since we got together and recorded.
It's true.
T-minus a million months.
Mm-hmm. Reese, what is our Twitter?
Thunderwudgie. No. Yes. Thunderwudgie.
Yeah, Thunderwudgie.
Singular. Thunderwudgie singular.
Only one Wudgie.
At Thunderwudgie singular.
And...
As opposed to the email, which is Thunderwudgies.
Thunderwudgies at gmail.com.
We're just trying to keep you on your toes.
Mm-hmm.
We should probably put that in the show notes.
If it's not there already, I don't know. Yeah.
Yep.
It
But
definitely
write
will.
us. It'll make us feel really loved.
Welcome to another episode of Thunderwudgies. I'm Reese.
I'm Tej.
And I'm Annie.
All right, great podcast. Peace out, guys.
You can tell we're a little...
Any Harry Potter news?
Let's
The
check,
only
let's check
bit
the
of-
googs.
The only bit of news that I have is that after posting our first podcast, my parents listened, and then my mom wanted to take the sorting hat quiz, and she did, and she's a Ravenclaw.
Runs in the family.
I don't know, because I tested Ravenclaw once
I
and
know.
Gryffindor once, and
But
then
I
my
still...
brother's Gryffindor. So-
I see you as kind of a half and half.
yeah.
So
I mean, what's really going to be interesting is what my dad comes up as.
It'd be crazy
If
if
he
he was
does it.
Gryffindor.
Yeah.
What do you think he is?
I don't know. My mom, like when she did it, I was like, huh, but I've never really thought about what she would be. But I could see that. She's clever. She's inventive. Sure.
Shout out to Tej's mom.
Yay, hi Mom. I
So
love you.
after my dad listened to the first episode,
Yeah.
I had mentioned that my mother was a squib. which is not offensive. It's I had reasons for why, and he said no, I don't think she's a squib. And then I'm not sure if this was on his part, but my siblings and I all discussed. No, she's not a squib. She is a wizard. She was just a homeschooled wizard. So like her mom just taught her.
So she didn't go off to Hogwarts or anything?
No, she didn't go to any school. She was homeschooled, and her wand is her wooden spoons. And she learned herbal remedies and
delicious Italian cooking.
potions. Yeah.
Yes. Potions. Yes.
Yeah, so it was like it's a rudimentary, rustic kind of magic.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing that a textbook could teach you.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yep. So she doesn't actually belong to a house then.
Do you feel like
independent.
the rest of your family would be similar to you? Would they be Slytherins?
Yes. We are Slytherins through and through. Every one of us.
I feel like in my family, everyone would be completely different.
Yeah.
Like, thinking about it now, I guess I should probably make them take the sorting hat quiz. But my sister is definitely a Ravenclaw. Very much so. What would my brother be? I mean, I guess I could see him being a Hufflepuff or a Gryffindor, I think. I could see my mom being a Hufflepuff, so I guess now I'm going back that we're all kind of Hufflepuffs there. But
Are you a Huffleclaw?
You know,
or a Huffledore?
I think I would be a Huffleclaw, but I'm very proud of my Hufflepuffness now.
Okay.
I used to want to just be Ravenclaw because I like the idea, and as I said, my sister is just so smart, and I wanted to kind of be like that too. I could see my dad maybe being a Slytherin or a Gryffindor. I mean, I think some of that, like, ambition, but in a good way, and kind of bravery, like trying new things, and so I could see that going kind of either way. But so lots of different, and then my husband is Ravenclaw, so lots of different within the family.
Doctor.
Diversity.
Yeah.
So it keeps
Yeah,
it
because
interesting.
Helen's the...
Oh, she's a Ravenclaw
I
also.
think she came up as Ravenclaw. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Are-
Shout out to
are
the
all-
H-Bomb. We love you.
H-Bomb, we miss you.
We miss you so
Come
much.
back.
right, so we asked about Harry Potter news.
Yeah.
Guys, big news.
Fantastic Reese?
No,
Oh.
this is different.
Okay.
Ohio is having a Harry Potter festival.
When?
Like this weekend? Because that'd be awesome.
August 3rd and 4th in
Where
Fairfield County.
is that?
Community-wide celebration, 20 years of Harry Potter.
20 years.
It's been 20 years.
I kind of forgot that.
Because it came out when you and I were 8.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's been 20
That's
years.
kind of horrifying.
We literally did grow up with Harry Potter.
There's going to be a wizarding costume contest. Wizard rock band called Tonks and the Aurors.
Yeah. I feel like they were around here for some library event last year or something.
So they're like a...
Tonks and the Aurors?
Yeah.
There's going to be a Quidditch
That was
demonstration.
hilarious, and then I googled Harry Potter tribute bands, and there's a bunch with really funny, good names. So, Quidditch competition?
Quidditch demonstration,
Oh.
yep.
So, have either of you guys ever seen anyone play Quidditch in real life? Because I have actually
I've seen
played it
YouTube
before,
videos.
and I'm curious how they'll do that at that festival, because we had a cross country runner who was the fastest was our snitch. And I don't know. I mean, I think we had to like hold a broomstick, but it wasn't necessarily between your legs. You just kind of had to
You had
have
that
it
in your hand.
And
Did you have like the belt with the yellow sock hanging out? That's the snitch.
actually no. I guess we did on the one. Yeah, no, you're right. So we had some sort of like capture the flag on that, but so it is kind of odd to see in person because I mean, again, we don't have the cool magical broomsticks, so and I think they use kind of like a kickball or something as the
Quaffle.
as the quaffle. So it'll be interesting to see how they do it in Ohio. Has anyone else who's listening right now ever
Participated?
played a game of Quidditch?
Yeah, IRL. Nope, no one? Okay. All right, well,
So what
Thanks
else?
for calling in.
What else are they having?
Hogwarts herbology class, where you will create your own magical mandrake plant. Well, yeah, we know that's not real.
whoa.
You can't create your own
You don't
mandrake. You need to
believe.
find it.
Yeah.
Gosh. Muggles. They're going to have an Ollivander's wand shop at the First Presbyterian Church.
Oh my god. That is hilarious.
They're going to have a mischief-managed dinner plate painting project.
Wait, can you say that one more time?
It's called Mischief-Managed Dinner Plate Painting Contest.
Wow.
So I think they're just painting a plate.
Mischief
But they're
managed.
calling it Mischief-Managed.
Oh, I thought maybe the theme of like they all had to kind of put that on there somehow, or like they're doing the map.
I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
Guess we're gonna have to.
Why don't
find
you
out.
know more about this festival, Reese?
It's the same weekend as the healing event at Resurrection, so I'm gonna have to flip a coin.
What do you think would be the most fun at a festival like that? Like, what kind of Harry Potter thing would you want to do?
Costume contest. Costume contest. I'm gonna be Dobby.
That is awesome. Yeah, what would
An
you...
awful Dobby.
But it would be so fun. Would you use the accent? His little squeaky voice.
No, I wouldn't do well at that at all.
I'm terrible at accents, as we established in a previous episode. But,
Should we relive that? Give us another Dobby.
Say something.
oh gosh. See, I like to say no one can do the accents better than Jim Dale. We always listen to the
Jim Dale books on tape.
Yeah. And so, I don't know. What do one of you guys want to do a Dobby?
I can only think of Creature now. I can't really think of
All that I
Dobby's
can think of
voice.
in my head is, I'm Dobby! That's really
Can we do
horrible.
that again? Do it again. I want. Let's get it really good on the.
I'm Dobby! Wait, no, I can't keep saying. Yeah, so I'm not going to be Dobby.
Who would I actually be, though? Because I couldn't pull off a Dobby.
Well, wouldn't you want to be a great Slytherin? Slytherin
Yeah,
pride.
Pansy Parkinson.
Nancy Parkinson.
Blaze Zabini.
I feel like... Oh, no, I'm
Or
seriously
like a
thinking
young
about it.
Tom Riddle or something.
Thomasina Riddle.
Oh.
Now I'm taking it really seriously and actually
Yeah.
going through all the characters.
Okay, so now, Tej, while Reese is thinking,
I certainly wouldn't know.
well, who was one of your favorite characters?
Oh, I was just gonna like pick something really random just to be crazy, you know.
Well, yeah, you want to win the competition.
It might be Rita Skeeter.
It would be fun to be McGonagall, right? I mean, it's like you just have kind of a stern bun and get some kind of old lady glasses. Right?
What's Hagrid's girlfriend's name? Madam
Maxine.
Madam Maxine.
That would be
That
fun.
would be
Yeah.
the massive robes. Mm-hmm. Put on really high shoes.
I was gonna say like it would go as like a thestral or like I was trying to think of like random creatures like or Crookshanks or something.
Yeah.
You could be Trevor the Toad, as we've talked about before. Not helpful at all.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
So many possibilities.
I dressing up just doesn't really. I'm not like opposed to it, but it doesn't really excite me. But it would be kind of interesting to be there to see what other people did.
Yeah.
But what about, I mean, do you get competitive in the spirit of a good contest?
Yeah,
Like,
usually. So maybe I would.
feel
I
like
probably wouldn't put forth the effort, and then once I got there, I'd kind of kick
You'd be
myself
sad.
and be like,
Yeah.
"Man, I should have tried harder." Yeah.
I always do like half costumes. Like I really like the I can't remember what it's called, but when they do like a casual cosplay where it's like this is what the character might wear in real life. So like you'd have like a yellow scarf instead of the yellow tie, or
so it's like a little,
Yeah.
little bit more like something you may have
something
in
you would
your-
actually wear.
Mhm.
Yeah. With like the edge of what the character would wear. Yeah. I would do more something like that. But then I would not win.
That's what, I mean, I feel like, I think I've talked about this before, but when we went to a local bookstore in town when the books came out, and people would dress up for that, and I made, my mom helped me spray paint my hair red, and I was Ginny. It's kind of funny at the time. Maybe it was the age that I was at, like closer in age with her or something. I don't know. She was never like my favorite character in the books, but it was easy enough to do, I guess. Just find a robe and that kind of thing. But there are just so many creative things, and I've seen people go as the snitch, and like that's one that would be fairly easy, but if you pull it off, like could look really cool.
Oh, Whomping Willow.
Yes.
Who would you be?
Yeah.
That's a great
Or
question.
the squid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel
I'm
like
trying to
there's
think of these things
there's
that
some-
give, or like Sir Cadogan or whatever, the little fat knight, like the guy, knight with the little pony and stuff. Like,
nearly headless Nick.
yeah,
would be
like one of
funny.
these ones that like give color to the story, but they're not really a major character. Like, that would be fun to do something random.
I feel like there are probably some great ones from the fourth book too when they're doing Triwizard Tournament.
Yeah, like being a mer person or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if like a group of guys all got together and went as the Durmstrang School.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Is that how you guys pronounce that? I've always called
Yeah.
it Durmstrang.
Yeah.
How do you the girls' school?
Bobatons.
That's how I pronounce
I
it.
always called it Bobattens.
Really?
As a kid.
Oh.
Well, it's one of those things like when you just kind of see it too. It's like, how is this?
Yeah.
Again, I think maybe I got that in my head from the CDs.
Yeah.
I forget, but
I actually I don't even want to admit this, studied French, so I think that was part of it. I was like, oh, that would obviously be Bobatons.
what's wrong with studying French?
Well, I don't want to claim any
You
knowledge of it,
you
because then
cheated.
people are like, oh, did you speak French? Nope. No, I actually don't. I don't remember anything.
How did you pronounce her name?
Madame Maxine?
No, the Triwizard girl. Fleur.
Fleur.
Her last name. How did you pronounce that?
Delacour.
Yeah.
I would alternate between that. Like, in my head, I would alternate between Delacour and Decalour. I don't know, I'm just reading.
This is kind of a random question, slightly off this, but when you said that you could hear it differently in your head, my husband and I were recently talking about this. I read books really fast, and he was talking about how he has to literally hear someone saying the word almost to read it. Like, he'll hear it aloud. I don't think I read like that. I was just curious if you guys have any comments.
I used to read like you do, where I just would read really fast. But I've taken like 2 years with very little reading since I graduated college. And I've started reading a lot more now, and now I'm hearing myself read.
That's interesting.
And I'm so disappointed in myself, because I know I'm reading slower.
But do you feel like you're getting more, because as someone who's done both...
No, I'm more easily distracted.
Okay. Because there are times where, like, especially with Harry Potter, like the first time I would read it, I got so excited, I like read really fast, and I would also read right when they came out, so it would be late at night, and I feel like there are probably things that I did miss, like I had to go back and read again to really catch, you know, so sometimes it maybe isn't a good thing, but...
I feel like I'd have to take some kind of class to get back to the reading speed that I did have. So disappointed in myself.
See, meanwhile, I feel like I read too fast and that it doesn't totally sink in. Like, I'm getting through and I'm understanding, but I'm not retaining things.
Like, now I'm at a place where I have to keep rereading in order to really retain it.
Yeah.
And I feel
that's
like
called dementia.
It's like,
which is definitely what I'm suffering from.
It's like the being out of school and having a full-time job and just not feeling like you have to read anymore.
Well, you're not using those muscles. Like,
yeah.
I was in a discussion recently where there was, I think, someone there that she's studying to get her doctorate, you know, and stuff like that. And I just felt, I've already been feeling pretty dumb. And then kind of to be in that situation where, like, well, which passage are you referencing in this book? And I'm just like, you know, I'm smart, I swear.
It makes me feel so dumb when people reference the Bible or the Catechism and they're talking about, like, a Bible story. And, like, I haven't taken any kind of, like, Bible studying class since high school. And so people will be like, well, tell me, like, what did you think of when King David did this? And I'm like, just, like, total brain fart.
He
like,
did that?
I know David killed Goliath. And there was something about Bathsheba. And he did some bad things. Who's David?
I do feel like that with some... Because if you think about it, too, I don't go to daily mass all the time. You know, I'll kind of go here and there, and you hear things on the weekends. But there are certain stories, too, that even if I'm going back, like, I just kind of return to, but other ones that really just not quite as memorable. And some people really know the Bible, and it's great, but I don't have quite the same. Maybe that means I need to be reading it more, right?
Or when people say that, like, they know, like, what Augustine taught on specific parts of the Catechism, or what parts of the Catechism were taken from Augustine and which ones were taken from Aquinas, and it's like, oh my gosh, how do you have time for that?
Yeah.
And where did you go to school? How do you know these things?
Yeah. And how long will I know them? I mean, I used to know, I used to know things, like, I mean, I could name all the Roman emperors and what years they were emperor, and
That's impressive.
I can't do that now. I would be hard-pressed to name more than, like, 4.
Which Roman emperors were wizards?
They didn't teach us that. How do you pronounce Bellatrix's last name?
Okay.
Are you cheating?
In my head,
Yeah.
I say Lestrange, because that's how I've always read it. But, like, as an adult, if I actually read it, I would think that it's Lestrange.
Yeah.
Lestrange was always me.
Yeah.
And I
think the correct way is Lestrange.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you asked just now, I heard Lestrange, like, in my head. But, yeah, I think that's because I've heard it.
Because I read it as a kid.
Yeah.
But actually, that's how I would have read it.
Some
how
of
about
these
you?
are funny. I said Lestrange, even though, I wouldn't have, in my head, you know.
Yeah.
But some of these, I'm like, who would do that? Like, it says newts. It's newts, not nuts. Well,
we can read letters, right?
Or Severus Snape. It's Severus, not Severus.
Wait, what are newts?
The money.
Oh, I've always called it nuts.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wait.
Wow.
Nuts. I know it's not but
maybe it's K-Newt. Oh, K-Newts.
Yeah, I was like, wait.
Wait, it's the correct pronunciation is K-Newts?
I don't know. How would you interpret that? Is it K-Newts or newts?
K-Newts is how it looks. Yeah.
Let me
So
see.
wait, were we all wrong?
I thought it was
just newts.
nuts. Yeah, I did think it was
No,
nuts.
I always called it nuts.
Or knuts.
I always
No, I
thought
always
newts.
called it nuts.
This looks like K-Newts.
Actually, it was one of my favorite words.
I thought you were talking
Because
about
it was
Newt
nuts.
Scamander
Okay,
or whatever,
let's-
so I was
yeah,
confused.
that's
I was
what I
like,
If
well,
anyone knows how to properly pronounce this, tweet at us. Because I'm not sure I'm even reading this thing correctly. I mean, it is BuzzFeed, so I don't know how accurate it is. But it's... What?
what?
I don't know, guys.
What is it?
You're freaking me out. What's happening here?
The female Weasley?
Mrs.?
How would you interpret that?
Ginny?
Yeah. Ginny? Not Ginny? What does that
Wait,
say?
what's the difference? Ginny.
Look at that.
I think it's wrong.
That's
That-
weird.
That's wrong.
It's gotta be
It's Ginny.
Ginny. Yeah. I know someone named Ginny. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
The female Gaunt, how do you say her name? Tom Riddle's mom's first name.
Mrs.
I forget what. Can I actually
What is?
see?
Yeah.
What,
I can't remember what it is.
Mehrope.
Meh-Roh-Pee?
Let me see.
It says it's Meh-Roh-Pee, which I've heard people say that, but I was like, what?
Honestly, always just went right over it.
Yeah.
I never even tried to pronounce it in my head.
Bartimaeus, not Bartimaeus.
Bartimaeus is how I always thought.
Yeah,
Barty.
Bartimaeus.
Bartimaeus, not Bartimaeus. Oh.
I don't even pronounce either of those. I just say Bartimaeus.
Yeah, you just... Anyway, there's a lot. There actually, wow, this just keeps going. So we don't need to spend all... This is in alphabetical order here.
Hagrid,
No,
not
maybe it's not.
Hagrid. What was Sirius's brother's name?
Regulus.
Yes. The stars.
Because I remember before, when they had the RAB, it took me a while, but I did figure out before the later
Yes.
books came out.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, there's only been one,
there's only one RAB.
So
Yeah, that's it.
smart.
That wasn't even it was it can't possibly be him because he's so obvious. That's what I was thinking. I was
Really?
well, it's obviously not Regulus because that'd be ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Oh my gosh.
ridiculous. How'd you say that spell?
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous. I was like, it can't be ridiculous because that's too
That's
easy.
ridiculous.
But awesome.
I think it is ridiculous though.
So that's just a little clue into, there's some BuzzFeed article about what you've been mispronouncing in Harry Potter, so.
Well, I guess going back to if we went to the festival and had costumes, we'd probably need to make sure it was something we knew how to pronounce, right? Because
I'm sure some nerd would correct you if you didn't. So.
And we say that lovingly because
Yeah.
we're Harry Potter nerds as well.
I'm just nerds in all kinds of ways.
As long as you don't say Hermione.
Hermione.
Hermione. Hermy one.
What is,
Is that actually
his
a
face?
popular British name?
I don't think it's popular.
oh.
I
thought
assumed it
maybe
was.
she made it
I
up.
think there's a saint.
Yeah, I think so too.
Really?
There's a Saint Hedwig.
Well, yeah. I've heard of that.
Hedwig, that'd be fun to dress up like Hedwig.
Yes.
Full wings.
Yes.
Bite at people. They're pissing you off, yeah. Right? I mean, because she would snip at them.
She'd nip.
Yeah.
Just seeing your face there, though, was...
And
I'd like to see
died.
And like I've said before, that was a sad one for
Pretty
me.
tragic.
When we talked
I didn't
about
believe it happened for another 7 chapters. I was like, wait, where's Hedwig? Later on in the book, and then I just kept on being reminded.
I was in bed reading after midnight, like always, and I was literally sobbing. from Hedwig.
Yeah.
It was rough. And actually, the 7th book, though, to me is always a point of pride because by the end we started getting 2 books. My sister would, like at first we only had 1 and my sister would read it because she read so fast and then it would go to me. She tried to read all the Harry Potter books before the 7th one came out, like in that week before.
Ooh.
Wow.
So she started the 7th one and fell asleep, and I stayed up all night and beat her.
Nice. Thunderwudgie is hosted by Reese, Annie, and Tej. We're at Thunderwudgie on Twitter, and you can send us an email via thunderwudgies@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. It makes us realize we need to wrap it up.
So really, I see what you're doing here, Reese. Tej. Okay, this is...
I don't know. We need name tags.
He's just not used to calling
We'll
you.
write it on her forehead.
Yeah, tattoos.
I feel like I'm gonna just start calling you Tej in life.
Because it's like hard for me to do it once.
When I sent you that email, I did say Tej.
You
I didn't even
did.
say TJ, I put TEJ.
EEG. Yeah, it was funny.